Welcome back. Veterans and volunteers gave out 500 Thanksgiving meal boxes to families in need in Northwest San Antonio this morning. The Travis Manin Foundation collaborated with the Mission Continue San Antonio platoon for the event, saying the event serves as an opportunity to help veterans, families, students, and service-minded neighbors who are fighting food insecurity. And taking a look at live cam. We're back into the 80s, and it's hot outside again, Shelby.
Yeah, and I wish we had better news. I mean, JP, just a week ago, our peak temperature was sitting in the 60s, and sadly, we're not expecting the peak temperatures to get back to the 60s. But if you're going out and about this evening, expect the temperatures to get back to the 70s. And if you like today, well, expect the same for tomorrow. More of that copy-paste weather forecast, waking up in the 60s, peak temperature about 85 degrees. But then we're tracking a little bit of a change in the weather pattern. Still seeing that copy-paste weather tomorrow and Tuesday, but we're tracking storms on Thursday that could bring that possibility of some stronger storms and even that possibility of severe storms, mostly to the north, but could make their way closer to San Antonio. And it is a little bit of a tricky forecast, especially because there are so many moving parts, even our rainfall totals that we're expecting. I'll break it down for you of what we know and what you need to know coming up after the break.
Welcome back to Time 542 this evening, and we got a taste of the fall and colder weather last week, and now we're right back to where we normally are. The heat.
Exactly. There is a little bit of some changes, though, and some changes could bring us some temperatures only in the 70s, but tomorrow is going to be another warm day for us, waking up with that possibility of some morning fog, even with some muggier conditions if you don't see that fog. Waking up in the 60s and even the 70s for us, still seeing those mostly clear skies until that sun really starts to allow that fog to lift up, and then we're seeing our temperatures back into the 70s, near 80 degrees by lunchtime. Peak temperature is about 85 degrees for us in the Alamo City tomorrow. Some areas could get to the upper 80s tomorrow, so keep that in mind, especially because we're expected to still be above average because we have that area of high pressure sitting over South Texas. So not only San Antonio is sitting about 15 degrees above average, areas like San Angelo's getting upwards of almost 20 degrees above their average temperature. And it's November. We should be seeing these cooler temperatures. But instead, we're seeing some rain chances, which I know we still want those cooler temperatures, but we also need and want the rain. What we're watching is an incoming system arriving from California. It's that parade of low pressure systems and disturbances moving through the country. What we're watching is the heaviest chance of rain really being Wednesday night, but really on Thursday into Thursday night is going to be the best chance for rain. And that's going to be the best chance of some widespread rain. Here's a look at a rough future cast. We did see that one low pressure system in California make landfall this weekend. That's already moving closer to the Four Corners. That's what gave that heavy rainfall into portions of Southern California. But what we're watching is that secondary low pressure system behind it. That's still going to allow and really deepen in some of that moisture, and it will move closer to San Antonio. Already by Monday into Tuesday, that low pressure system is expected to make landfall and moving closer to South Texas as that high pressure system finally leaves. But here's what we're watching. The chance of storms and any sort of rain starts Tuesday night, but really continues till about Thursday. That's going to be our best chance for some showers and some thunderstorms. And here's what we know. Yes, there are still a lot of uncertainties. Things can change ever so slightly, so you'll want to check back with us. But it does appear that most of the storms are going to be gone by about midday Thursday. But what we're watching is a possibility of some redevelopment. So the best odds of widespread rain is going to be about Wednesday night through Friday morning, with that possibility of some thunderstorms and even some much needed rain. Most of the rain still going to be in Southern California, but what I want to point out is areas of South Texas. We need the rain. We're still in that drought, and we're watching that possibility of some heavier rainfall being possible. Now, this is just one of our weather models, but it is anticipating some areas seeing upwards of a few inches, and some might not even see much. Areas like closer to Victoria might see just under an inch or so. So we'll continue to keep you posted with the latest forecast. This is not a set number of what your rainfall accumulation is going to be, but I wanted to give you that idea of we are expecting the possibility of some heavier rainfall being possible. So we'll keep you posted on the latest as we get closer to 10% chance of rain as we go from Tuesday into Wednesday. The rain chances increase day by day. today, and then I know it's not 60s, but after the rain finally leaves, we're watching and expecting temperatures to at least be in the 70s. So it's baby steps.
Baby steps as we get closer to December.
Yes.
And hopefully those rain chances also come through.
Correct.
Thanks for that, Shelby. The Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, and they still found a way to win.
They did against the Kings, who aren't having the greatest season, but the Spurs, they win in wire-to-wire fashion at home. We'll show you how it went down. Coming up, also the Texans today with a big win in Nashville to move them back to 500. That and more coming up after the break. Revenge game for De'Aaron Fox as the Spurs host the Kings. Victor Wembanyama sidelined today with left calf tightness, so Luke Cornett getting the start. And Harrison Barnes getting the two-man game going with Fox, both former Kings, and Barnes knocks down the triple. He had 2 early threes. Now later in the first, Fox pours in the shot from long range off the transition. Fox feeling it against his former team this afternoon. Unfortunately, Steph Castle left the game with a left hip injury and never returned in the second half, but everyone else stepping up big today as the Spurs win in wire-to-wire fashion, 123-110. Cornett had a double-double, and Keldon Johnson had 1-2 off the bench. Meanwhile, Fox and Barnes combined for 50 points. We'll have an update on Castle and the latest on Wemby tonight on the Night Beat. Well, the Texans making an appearance in Music City today for a division game against Cam Ward and the Titans, and Davis Mills starting again for an injured C.J. Stroud. Early Texans field goal attempt doinks off the upright, but the Titans are penalized for roughing up the Texans long snapper, so Mills will get another shot at the end zone, but he's sacked by Cody Barton. Turnover on downs. Now Tennessee gets on the board later in the first. Joey Sly boots in the 56-yard field goal, and that's how the score would stay going into halftime. Third quarter, Titans add another field goal, but Houston will take the lead after Mills connects with Nico Collins for the 3-yard touchdown. 7-6 Houston. Now it's 10-6. When second-year defensive end Will Anderson Jr. gets the strip sack on Ward, and he recovers the fumble. That leads to another Texans field goal. But Tennessee not going away. Ward hits Van Jefferson in the end zone from 4 yards out, and Texans in trouble. Tie game. Well, cue fourth quarter Mills. A 17-yard pass to Collins keeps the drive alive, and a Matthew Wright field goal wins it. The final from Nashville, 16-13 Texans. Houston is now 500 after an 0-3 start. They are now a game back of second place in the AFC South as the Jags beat the Chargers today. High praise for Mills from Coach Ryans after the game.
I'm just proud of the way we're finishing. We weren't finishing games really good to start the season, but how we're finishing games now and finishing with the win, that's all that matters. Davis did a great job all day of really protecting the football, making great decisions, and I mean, no play bigger than him connecting with Nico there when we needed it most. The 2-minute drive, that was such a huge play for us. And Nico and Davis, that connection really took off in the second half.
When I looked out and saw that they ended up running cover 2 over there, they clouded his side. We had the perfect route called for it, and he was able to kind of find the honey hole behind the corner outside the safety, and I was able to deliver him a ball.
Davis Mills again. Well, it was a devastating week for the Dallas Cowboys after the tragic passing of 24-year-old Marshawn Kneeland. The boys will carry a heavy heart filled with grief into a Monday Night Football matchup against the Raiders in Las Vegas. Now, Dallas is a 3.5-point favorite for the Week 11 bout. The Raiders' only 2 wins this year came against the now 1-9 Titans and the Patriots back in Week 1. The Cowboys went 2-2 in October, but most recently dropped a primetime game against the Cardinals. Sports director Leah Ramirez is in Las Vegas now with more on the Cowboys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mary. We are outside of Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, where tomorrow night on Monday Night Football, the Raiders will host the Dallas Cowboys right here on KSAT 12, and it's going to be an emotional day for Dallas. 10 days ago, Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland died, and his teammates are doing their best to cope with the pain, all the while getting ready for a football game. Now, the team is looking to Dak Prescott for leadership and help, but who is helping Dak deal with the pain?
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys did a great job of bringing in professionals, people who are who get paid to deal with these moments. And as you just noted, right, obviously me and Sally have been through this, but I'll be the first to say that I may be the champion of speaking up, but I'm not necessarily the champion of dealing with grief, I guess you can say, right? And I'll say I'm a champion of moving forward and past it and using it as your strength your source of strength.
And coming up tonight on the Night Beat, Dak tells us that getting back on the field and practicing football is helping him out. Mary, let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Now we will have a 30-minute pregame show beginning at 6:30 tomorrow to lead you into the game, so be sure to stay locked in to KSAT 12.
They can be unstoppable. I mean, when they put their mind to something, we worked a lot of out of system. Majority of volleyball is played out of system, and so just going up there confidently.
Just surreal. Honestly, we as a team have accomplished so much this season, but to make it this far, I think we all are just in so much excitement, and we all love each other so much. It feels amazing.
Vernia's historic season continues. The Lady Bears avenged a regional finals loss from 4 years ago with the sweep of Belleville in the Class 4A D1 state semifinals yesterday to advance to the state championship for the first time in program history. Vernia will meet Decatur in the title game on Friday. Exciting times for the Lady Bears, JP.
Awesome stuff. To advance that far is a feat in itself. So one more to go.
One more to
go. Then going
go.
back to the Spurs, how exciting is this team? Even without Wimby, we had tough losses to the Warriors this week, both close games. But even without Wimby, the team stepping up, surrounding the supporting cast, everybody.
Yeah, and it's big to have depth behind Wemby. That's something they didn't have last year. And also their plentiful guards that they have also help.
Absolutely. And Harrison Barnes' consistency has been amazing this year. Thanks for that, Mary. We'll be right back.